Hello everyone, I'm your host Nadia Holtz. Today we will be covering the top 3 threats to the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference. With us this morning to analyze the top 3 threats is expert handicapper Dave Golikoff. Dave, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent. Okay, so the first contender that comes to mind is the Chicago Bulls, more so with a Derrick Rose healthy. Walk us through this team.
Well, yeah, I would say that the Bulls are probably the only contender to the Cleveland Cavaliers for now. I mean, unless something dramatic happens during the regular season, they look like the only real challenge to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Bulls, I think they have a number of things going for them, starting with a healthy Derrick Rose. We don't know how healthy he is. We don't know if he'll be able to last the whole season. But if those things work out for them and if the team chemistry is fine, because remember, he's been away for so many games, they've had to shift the way that they played. They also had a Pau Gasol. So if everything works out for them, Doug McDermott proves to be a good first-round pick, then the Bulls could, I think, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really think it's a paper-thin margin between those two teams. I think home court advantage is going to be the difference. So, keep an eye on that in the regular season. But the Bulls are clearly the #1 contender for the Eastern Conference Championship right now.
Okay. Well, we all believe the Cavs are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. But do you think this much hype around the team can actually be a disadvantage for them?
I don't think so. I mean, LeBron James has been through this so many times. Wherever he's going to go, there's going to be hype. I think there's going to be a small adjustment period. I actually think the bigger adjustment is not necessarily the hype around this team. I think it's the head coach and David Blatt. He's a real wild card that not enough people are talking about. Granted, LeBron James made Mike Brown look good. He made Eric Spoelstra look good. He'll probably make David Blatt look good. But I think the one thing that's more of a wild card to me is the coaching situation rather than the hype around this team.
Okay. And the other 2 teams are the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. What can you share about them and how might they represent a threat to the Cavs? Well,
the Wizards, I would say, have an outside shot, to really emerge and be something special. Again, we're talking in the land of hypotheticals here, but let's just say John Wall and Brad Beal proved to be the best backcourt in the NBA. Gortat and Nene stay healthy and, play even better than they did last year. And Paul Pierce proves to be a big addition. Plus some of those, first-round picks from this year, last year, they need to hit at least on one of those guys to be, a real solid player. But if all those things come to fruition, the Cavs could possibly push one of those 2 teams. Even in that situation, I think it's crazy. But I think the Wizards are, the only team that can really do that outside of the Bulls and the Cavaliers. I don't have any faith in the Raptors, the Nets, none of those teams. The only other one I mentioned is the Hawks. I think they're, a distant third, or I guess a distant 4th in line. The only reason I added the Hawks here is because they looked like they really gained some momentum last year. I think they gained some valuable experience in the first round of the playoffs. And don't forget, they did that all without Al Horford. So they're going to get Al Horford back. With Horford and Millsap, you could probably make the case they have, the best, if not one of the best front courts in the Eastern Conference, and that's worth something. So those 2 teams are in the mix there, but they're a very distant. They're much further behind the Bulls and the Cavaliers as far as their chances to win the Eastern Conference.
Okay, very interesting, Dave. Thank you so much. I wish you a great rest of the day, Dave.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. For SBR Picks, this is Nadia Holtz.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.